What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes Origins Scarlett. So here we have the Snake Eyes Origins Scarlett pose and out of the packaging. Moving on to her accessories, she only gets one, and that is her crossbow, which does fit in her hand nicely. Other than that, Scarlett comes with no other accessory. Very light, unfortunately, on the accessories. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to her details. And so here we have a closer look at Scarlett, and I think this is a very good head sculpt by Hasbro. If I didn't have the original Scarlett, I think this would be a very nice addition to the collection, because it actually does look like a classic looking Scarlett, which I'm very surprised about. The hair is absolutely perfect, and I kind of wonder what this head sculpt looks like on the previous Scarlett figure. We'll have a look at that some other time. But taking a look at the face, does it bear a resemblance to the actress? Yes, it does. But does it bear 100% likeness? No, not really. To be quite honest, she kind of looks like a Barbie doll from some angles, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it's a plastic figure and it is a little bit shiny, unfortunately. I do like the fact that she has these really nice blue eyes, and the lipstick looks very nice on Scarlett here. I do like the fact that she has this piece of hair coming over her face, and they did a very good job of choosing the orange for the hair. It's not too bright, but it's not too dark, so it's just right in my honest opinion. And then we do have her hair tied back right here, as you can see. Like I said, it's a very classic looking Scarlett, so I do like that, and the tufts of hair at the end of her ponytail do look really nice, so gotta give Hasbro credit there. They did a fantastic job sculpting this figure, at least with the face. It does seem a little plasticky because for some reason this face is very shiny. I don't know why Hasbro did that with Scarlett in particular, but they did. I kind of wish that it was a little bit dull. Might hit that with a dull coat, but we'll see. Having a look at their armor here, which it is armor, I do like some of the things that they did with it, but at the same time it kind of is a little bit odd to me. I do like the fact that it is armor plating, but seeing as how she's a special operative, why is she wearing like armor that is out on the outside? Wouldn't you expect her to be wearing like Kevlar armor that doesn't look like feudal medieval armor? Just saying that they could have done a different design in the movie, but I do like the fact that she has almost like a camouflage design right here on her armor. Then on her undersuit you can see some texturing right there. We do have some yellow. Call back to the original Scarlett outfit, which they did a really good job sculpting the back of the armor. See, this looks a little bit more modern than the front of her armor. It's like two clashing styles. We have a classic looking breastplate, and then we have a more modern back piece that you would see on like a piece of or a bulletproof vest, I should say. We do have some Kevlar looking right there. See, that's what I expected her armor to look like, not actual plates of armor, which it is a little bit strange to see, but I guess it's okay. Having a look at her shoulder, they kept the red shoulder that she has on her right here. Then we do have the yellow and green shoulder right here on this side. We have some more yellow, once again harkening back to classic Scarlett, which I do like that little callback. Really nice addition to the figure. Then we do have her gloves, which I'm almost positive she wore fingerless gloves. Again, haven't seen the movie, no intention to see it, but almost positive she has fingerless gloves. And one thing you'll notice on this figure is she doesn't have any weapon storage, which is unfortunate. And it's kind of odd that she has like all these pouches that you would think she would have ammo in, but she only comes with her crossbow. I guess you can say that this is a quiver that has the remaining shots in them, or the bolts, but I would have liked to see like a small quiver that she could attach to her back, because she does have a peg hole here. So that is a missed opportunity by Hasbro. I know it wouldn't be accurate to the movie, but there is something they could do. Then having a look at her pants, she is wearing brown pants with some texturing right here. We do have some pockets on the back, as well as some strapping right here where it's holding the thigh guard again. Kind of strange seeing a modern soldier having classic looking armor. It just throws my mind for a loop seeing these classic pieces of armor on a modern day soldier. It's kind of odd, to be quite honest, and something that it does throw me off a little bit more. She has knee pads, but they're the same color as her pants. I would have expected there to be some color difference, like maybe that same green right here. I don't know, it's just a little bit odd seeing the knee pads the same color as the straps and the pants. It's really, really odd, to be quite honest. But I do like the fact that she still has that that camouflage design right here on her shin guards, although again, it's kind of strange that they went with a classic looking modern take on the armor. Why couldn't she have like a straight up military-esque design? I don't know why they went with the armor plating, but it does look good from some angles, but for the most part I'm not a fan of it, to be 100% honest. And just like with all the other female figures we've had a look at, being Baroness and Akiko, she does have wedges, which again, if she's military, why does she have wedges? That's not like ideal for situations that she's gonna be in. I know it's for the movie, but it just doesn't make sense realistically. But overall, it's still a fine looking figure. They sculpted a lot of things really nicely. It's just the source material is a little bit confusing, but at least the high point is that head sculpt. It's a very beautiful head sculpt. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Scarlett posed and compare to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Scarlett posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Scarlett posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Scarlett posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have Scarlett posed next to the G.I. Joe Classified Scarlett and the Snake Eyes Origins Baroness. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to her articulation. Now, Scarlett has a double ball joint at the head. She doesn't have a hinge, it's a double ball joint, which I did take her head off, and it is a double ball joint, so she has relatively limited movement in comparison to the other G.I. Joe Classified figures. It still turns left and right, gives us some up and down movement. Surprisingly good down movement, to be quite honest, but not the best upwards movement, and we do get some pretty decent head tilt on that. She does have a ball joint at the neck, but it does seem to be really recessed in there, and her collar does prevent any real movement out of that, so I guess that's why they went with a double ball joint at the neck. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Butterfly joints here at the shoulder do go back and forward really nicely. They go out to the side, go all the way around. They do have a single bend at the elbow, giving us 90 degrees, which is okay. Swivel at the elbow. We have a vertical hinge here at the wrist, as well as rotation. We have a ball joint here at the torso, which does let her lean back about that far. She can lean forward only to about that far, and that's including both joints. She really doesn't crunch too far forward, crunches back about that far. Out to the side, tilts to the side, swivel. Most of the swivel is actually done at the waist. It's not done at the second mid joint, so do be aware of that. Hips can drop down and go forward to about right there. They go back to about right there. They go out to the side. Very nice. I do like that range right there. She can deliver some really nasty side kicks. Thigh swivel unfortunately breaks up the armor. I don't know why they just didn't sculpt the armor as one piece so that when you rotated it, it all moved it. I know Hasbro has done it in the past. Why couldn't they implement it here? Double bend here at the knee, and you can see she does have pinless joints, and it does give us better than 90 degrees. I was expecting a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, you had to bend the bottom joint first and then the top joint to give her better range, but it still does work fine. We do have swivel at her boot. We have a hinge at the ankle. Now on mine, it has a really stiff detent there and right there, and that does make standing her a little bit tricky, but other than that, it's smooth sailing from there to that detent and then another detent right there, so it is unfortunate. And then forward facing pin for rocker ankle, but because she has wedges, it's kind of like at a very steep angle. So overall, Scarlett here has some pretty decent articulation, some somewhat questionable design choices, but it's not the figure's fault. It's based on the movie, unfortunately, and she is lacking accessories. So With that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Scarlett posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes Origins Scarlett pose for my final thoughts, and overall Scarlett here is an okay figure. There's nothing too spectacular about her besides the head sculpt. I do feel like she is very lacking in accessories. Just the fact that she gets the crossbow and nothing else really does irk me, because G.I. Joe figures are supposed to come with a lot of accessories, and I'm pretty sure it's Hasbro's no gun policy which prevented Scarlett from having an actual firearm, because I'm pretty sure she used one in the movie. If she didn't, well then they should have given her more firearms. But the crossbow, even though it is a nice accessory, I feel like she needed something else, maybe a combat knife, just something else to give her other than one simple accessory. Other than that, I think the look on the figure is pretty bad, to be quite honest, but it's not the figure's fault. Just based on the movie, the design was never really that good, and I think the best part about this figure is the head sculpt. Now, it is a little bit unfortunate that you cannot head swap it with the original Scarlett figure, which that's something I really wanted to try out, but you can't, so there is that. Scarlett here is still a very nice figure, but I wouldn't say she's a great figure due to the lack of accessories and an uninspired design that is kind of questionable when you really sit down and think about it. I don't think the costume designers for the movie really thought about Scarlett's costume all too well. There's so many things they could have done differently that they should have done, but they didn't. So this costume is kind of strange when you look at it from a design point of view. But other than that, I'm still pretty happy with this figure. It could have been better, but it could have been much worse. If you are looking for Scarlett, I have seen this series of G.I. Joe figures starting to pop up in retail. I actually found Scarlett and Akiko in Walmart, which is surprising because I never find G.I. Joe figures in retail. So finding them on the shelves was a pretty nice experience for me, and they did run about $20 each, which is pretty fair seeing as how Hasbro started increasing the price for a lot of their figures. $20 for Scarlett here I think is still a little too high, but it's still justifiable for a G.I. Joe Classified figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other G.I. Joe Classified videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.